nothing worse than responding to a call for service and then having somebody to be called to respond to you as you go down.
Right now at 7, a mom accused of trying to kill her children and herself faces a judge. The charges she's facing and the chilling evidence, including a 911 call from the woman herself.
Plus, new documents show Nippon Dynawave employees were worried about the facility's maintenance for years before the tragic implosion.
Then later at 7:30, the debate over Jefferson High School's name is heating up again. Why Portland Public Schools is considering a name change at up to 4 campuses across the district. Good morning, and thank you for joining us live at 7 o'clock. I'm China Green.
And I'm Matthew Herchick. Glad to have you with us on this Tuesday morning. Chris McGinnis has a look at your traffic, but first, Rod Hill with us. Some more rain here. Spotty showers to start the morning.
Yeah, maybe a little bit more than spotty. We do have quite a bit of rain that's been feeding in off the Coast Range and the Cascades. It's all light, though, with the exception of a heavier shower pocket up here that's moved around the battleground area, now pushing east into Skamania County. Right now, dry down in McMinnville. You can see the raindrops from the Vancouver, the Springs at the waterfront location over the Columbia. There are the clouds looking out from the Wells Fargo camera. We're in the 50s. We'll be in the mid-60s this afternoon, so another cool day. Scattered showers continue. We expect to open up some sun breaks. And it will be breezy at times. It's breezy to windy out there right now. We have west winds in the forecast 10 to 20 right now. Chris, the direction in downtown Portland is a south wind.
All right. Thank you for that, Rod. A little drippy on the freeways, but I want to start off with some good news here. In Portland's West Hills, Northwest Cornell Road, after a nearly 3-month closure near a sinkhole location on Northwest Eloise Lane, the road is reopened. Late last night, the Portland Bureau of Environmental Services said they've wrapped up their sinkhole repairs. The road is paved, and you're good to go now between Thompson and Skyline. All right, back to the freeway drive. As Rod mentioned, it's a little rainy out there. We're wet and slow on I-5 southbound. This is the live look up near the Expo Center. Right now, that southbound commute moving along at about 14 miles an hour or so, to the tune of 17 minutes to get you in from Main Street to the Fremont Bridge. Over on the west side, there's a live look at the Sylvan Hill. Traffic starting to tighten up there just a bit as well. China, right now, it's a 20-minute ride from Hillsborough.
Thank you, Chris. A Kaiser mother appears in court accused of attempting to take her own life and the lives of her 3 young children.
Yeah, I want to warn you, the details here are disturbing and include references to suicide. Libby Dowsett is joining us live this morning with the details as well as dispatch audio. Libby.
That's right. Well, we can tell you, Matthew and China, everyone survived this incident, but police say it appears this mother did extensive research on how to kill her children and herself. In Marion County Court, Chardonnay Benavidez showed up and immediately buried her face in her hands. She stands accused of trying to kill her 3 sons and herself. Officers responded to her house Saturday night on Holly Court in Kaiser after the mother called 911. She told dispatchers her kids, 2-year-old twins and a 4-year-old, were falling in and out of consciousness after she tried to poison them with carbon monoxide from her car. Police say she told them she had been planning the kids' murder for about a week.
Once the kids started to show some distress, she tried to calm them, and when she couldn't calm them, she took them back inside of the home.
It looks like we got 3 patients.
Now, dispatch audio from that night made mention that Benavidez may have had a gun in the vehicle as a deadly backup plan.
It should be noted she also had a gun in the car. She did tell law enforcement that she was prepared to shoot herself if this worked on the children and did not work on her.
Police say doctors treated the children for carbon monoxide poisoning. They were released the next day to their father. Their mother has been denied bail, that is. Her next court date is set for June 17th. A grand jury will review this case next week. Back to you guys.
Libby Dowsett reporting live this morning. Thank you, Libby. And a reminder, if you or someone you know is having a mental health crisis, help is available 24/7. One resource is the National Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. That number is 988.
Somehow, miraculously, he made it through all that. and then you almost just slammed into all of us.
A close call caught on camera as a driver just barely misses a Beaverton police officer. Authorities say they were already investigating a DUI crash on Highway 26 early Sunday morning when a driver drove around the barriers and into the blocked off area. Luckily, nobody was hurt, and police arrested that driver on DUI charges, saying both alcohol and marijuana were factors.
A burglary suspect allegedly involved in a police chase and a wild rollover crash in Milwaukee last month is apparently on the run from police again. Now, you might remember this video from May 5th when deputies tried to stop Scotty Oldfield in his white SUV. Authorities say that they found stolen property inside and then charged him with theft and reckless driving, among other things. Now the sheriff's office says Oldfield, who was being treated for his injuries, has left the hospital against the advice of doctors. There's currently a warrant out for his arrest.
A man is dead after he was shot inside a Southeast Portland apartment complex Monday afternoon. That was around 2 o'clock at the Aurora Apartments near 160th and Stark. Authorities say the shooter was gone when they arrived. So far, they have not released any suspect description, and anyone with information should contact Portland Police.
Our KGW investigative team has obtained documents that show Nippon Dynawave employees have been raising concerns about maintenance at the Longview paper mill for years, well before the chemical tank blast that killed 11 people.
As Evan Watson found out, records related to a fire at the plant 3 years ago raised some bigger questions about maintenance culture and oversight.
Outside the Nippon Dynawave paper mill in Longview, a memorial honors 11 employees who died in the recent chemical tank rupture. Their photos, next to their favorite snacks and candies, symbolize the grief of a community as investigations move forward. 3 years earlier, a major fire at the plant sparked employee concerns about old equipment and cutbacks on maintenance. A wood chip fire at the Nippon Dynawave facility in July of 2023 started on a conveyor belt before spreading to a barge, dock, and maintenance building. It burned through the night, took 3 days to clear, and caused $3.5 million in damage. Fire investigators said they couldn't determine the exact cause, but it's probable that the fire was mechanical in nature, secondary to the decrease in maintenance on the aging equipment. According to fire investigation reports, employees told fire investigators that the company dissolved maintenance of the conveyors approximately 6 to 7 years earlier, and Nippon Dynawave had been paying overtime for the past year and a half for the employees to come and perform maintenance on their time off, although that overtime pay was cut about a month before the fire. One employee said with limited maintenance, the company had been ordering greaseless conveyor belt rollers, with some coming from sites like Amazon, to limit the maintenance needs. With the recent collapse of the white liquor tank at the plant and the release of these new photos, Nippon Dynawave leaders have largely deferred questions about equipment maintenance and inspections.
We approach it with the utmost care in everything that we do. I'll let the facts speak for themselves.
The company did not respond to KGW's questions about the 2023 fire and maintenance concerns on Monday. Cowlitz fire investigators said the wood chip fire was accidental. It was not connected to the white liquor tank.
And that was Evan Watson reporting. State and federal investigations could take at least 6 months, if not longer. The company will continue to pay all its employees, including those who can't return to work, through early August.
Well, happening today, Hillsborough city leaders are holding a special meeting to talk about the future of data centers in the area. While no vote is expected, councilors will continue to go over existing and potential regulations for data center development in the future. The request comes after dozens of residents blasted councilors during last week's work session. The city leaders are considering pausing new data center construction to review the impacts of the city's enterprise zone program, which gives tax breaks to data center developers. The meeting is set for 6 p.m.
All right, 7:09. Let's get back over to Rod for a check of our forecast.
Yes, I'm bowing because of the rain yesterday, which was really beneficial.
We needed it.
Thank you, Matthew. I'm the only one that's super pleased, I feel like. We picked up just shy of 4/10 of an inch of rain in Portland, and it was the biggest raindrop since the 22nd day of April. That's just how dry we've been. Here's a look at what we have going on this morning. Some showers out over Baker City. Here on the west side, right now, it seems to be drying around Salem. The rain showers showing up have been on the line from about Salem up to the north. There's some heavier showers exiting where you see the yellow Clark County into Skamania County. Everything else is just kind of scattered light stuff. A lot of clouds out there. We are looking to open up some sun breaks, but keep the scattered shower threat alive today. 54 is your number in Salem. It's also 54 in Tigard, 54 in Beaverton, and up into Scappoose. Estacada's at 50. Good morning to you. It's 54 out in Dallas as well. All right, this afternoon, here's the map. Another cool day. I mean, inland areas 60s, coast 50s. It'll be mainly dry in central Oregon, becoming mainly sunny in Burns, maybe even up into John Day. Scattered showers out over the Blues. Nothing stormy anywhere expected. Here's the 7-day. Tomorrow, some of the modeling indicates a shower threat lingering in the morning, but otherwise a dry day. 65 today, 68 tomorrow. Then we start to warm up on Thursday. Upper 70s, maybe 80. 84 on Friday, 90 or better on Saturday. Day one of 4 days in a row of 90-plus degree temperatures expected. The hottest, we have the impact alert up for Sunday, 96, and Monday, 97. So today, 65, some showers, and then we're blazing the heat this weekend. All right, back to Chris McGinnis.
Well, weather whiplash there. All right, let's get you out the door. The road, the rain, as Rod has mentioned, is falling on the roads. In some cases, not that that's really terribly slowing the morning commute, but let's take you to North Portland, I-5 up near the Expo Center. Slow and go coming off the Interstate Bridge down past, through the Kenton neighborhood. At last check, your trip in from Main Street to the Fremont Bridge now is up to 17 minutes, so we're kind of holding steady there. I-84 westbound right there near 82nd Avenue, that's getting busier. Highway 26 at the Sylvan Hill, that too is getting busier. Right now, the drive-in from Hillsborough is up to 18 minutes at last check. Hey, how about some good news? This is a snapshot from ODOT. The new Battle Creek Road Bridge atop I-5 reopened yesterday, along with the new roundabout on the east side, so you're good to go there. That is the old bridge. And Matthew, they're going to have to demolish that at some point this month. That will mean a full closure of I-5 overnight when they do that. We don't have the date on that, but when we get it, we'll let you know. Back to you.
All right, we'll keep an eye on that, Chris. Thank you. Still ahead on Sunrise, an Oregon nonprofit offering affordable housing to local farm workers. How the homes are more than just shelters for these families. And later.
Voters head to the polls for primaries in 4 states today with heavy focus on one Senate race that could tip the balance of power in Washington and centers on a controversial candidate. I'm Alice Barr in Washington with the latest details coming up.
Hi, I'm Christine Padawanich. I'm a journalist at KGW, and I love exploring Portland's amazing food scene. New spot? I'm there. So I don't just report about our community, I belong to it. What happens here affects us all, and that's why we care so deeply about getting it right. And when local journalism is done right, it doesn't sit still, it moves. It moves you to act, to vote, to volunteer, to speak up, or to lend a hand. It moves your mind by challenging assumptions and offering new perspectives. It moves you forward by giving you the information to make decisions and thrive where you live. And yes, it moves your heart through the good stuff that stays with you wherever you are. And at KGW, we're here for all of it. These are the stories that move Portland.
On this morning's Local Lift, we're getting an inside look at a nonprofit providing affordable housing for local farm workers.
Libby Dowsett shows us how they're offering families more than just shelter.
We are getting a first-hand look at Bienestar's complete rehab underway at the Willow Park Apartments in Forest Grove.
We're doing the TLC, we're giving people new interiors, new siding. It's going to be better plumbing, better quality of life for the people living here.
Come September, Bienestar's Nathan Tesk says this entire complex will be updated for those seeking more affordable living options.
That we're offering cheaper rents than you would get in the marketplace. We're taking some support from the state typically.
He says the nonprofit began offering affordable housing in the 1980s when a majority of seasonal workers lived in migrant camps as they traveled from California to Oregon to Washington and back again.
No privacy, dorm-style things, no indoor plumbing, no ability to cook.
He said now more families are staying in one place.
And one person in the household might do some of that traveling for work, but they have a base. They don't move the whole family with the seasons.
With 113 units in Forest Grove, Cornelius, and Hillsborough in Washington County, Bienestar is now expanding into Yamhill and Columbia counties and offering more than just housing. Each complex has a promotora, a type of community connector who lives there and looks out for residents.
They're the kind of eyes and ears on the ground. They let us know if a family's in trouble.
And when someone's needing rent assistance or legal help, Bienestar says it's built enough trust to be able to offer a local lift to those in need. In Forest Grove, Libby Dowsett, KGW News.
You know, we were talking about, you said that you were the only one excited about the rain yesterday.
Yes,
and
I was.
said, you know, if I had my own lawn to worry about, I would be excited, but I don't. So.
But guess what I'm doing this afternoon?
Are you mowing
Golfing.
that lawn?
No, I got to mow the yard. I got to mow the yard.
Isn't it going to be raining?
Well, I'm hoping it's not raining that much this afternoon. I'll have to get it done in between showers.
Okay.
It's a difficult life I lead.
Okay.
Here's a look at our rainfall map. We needed it. I mean, we really did. It wasn't the biggest rainstorm in the world. Remember, we were hoping to get up to a half of an inch of rain. We thought we'd get the most rain since April 22nd, which is what, some 7 days ago. We got 37 100s, so that was decent. Salem 45 100s. It did go over an inch, which is what the modeling showed up along the north coast. Tillamook 1.17, Astoria 1.30, Vancouver 33 100s. That zero is evidence of a rain gauge automation site in Kelso Longview that's not reporting. It's not working. All right, well, we have more showers and cool weather today, but then just like that, our next headline that we are following is this one, extreme heat, with really our first heat wave of the year expected to begin Saturday. 90-plus degree temperatures Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, 4 days in a row. And right now it looks like we cool down on Wednesday. We have the impact alert already issued to grab your attention for planning purposes for what we believe to be the hottest days, and that would be Sunday upcoming and Monday, with temperatures between 95 and 100 degrees potentially. Heat exhaustion could be an issue. Stay hydrated, take breaks. Think about loved ones who may not have AC that could be struggling with these hot days. Here's a look at our satellite radar right now. We're still in this cool flow pattern today. Scattered showers expected to continue. Notice it's dry across the southern half of our state, and that could continue today. The rain line seems to be about Marion County over to Baker City and then northward for scattered shower activity. Futurecast does show scattered showers continuing today, again more so from Portland up into Seattle, and then more so up toward the Blue Mountains in eastern Oregon. Tomorrow we should go, here's tomorrow coming up, mainly dry with increasing sunshine, which is what the modeling shows. All right, right now, where are we? We have wet conditions out there with scattered showers still showing up. 56 in Portland, 60 in the Dalles, 48 degrees out in Baker City. Valley forecast numbers stay holding in the low to mid 60s. It is breezy to windy out. We had 30-plus mile-per-hour wind gusts last night. We still have breezy to gusty south winds out there, and we look for west-southwest winds this afternoon, still bouncing at least 10 to 20 miles per hour. 65, tomorrow still cool, but mainly dry, 68, and then we start to warm up by Saturday, 93, 96, 97 on Monday. Here's Chris.
It's hot stuff, Rod. All right, let's get you with some good news here. We'll pick it up in the West Hills, Northwest Cornell Road. After nearly 3 months of closure due to landslide and sinkhole repair, it reopened. The Bureau of Environmental Services finished paving on Friday, and they say you're good to go now between Thompson and Skyline Road. So that's big news for folks up there. The I-5 drive actually looks a little bit better right now than it did a few minutes ago. That said, 20 minutes is the commute time in from Main Street to the Fremont Bridge. That snapshot that I showed you was actually up near the Expo Center. So this gets tight, then it loosens up, tight, loosens up, etc. We're in the loosening phase. But that said, the drive time total is still increasing. All right, Interstate 84, the Banfield, that is getting a little bit busier coming in from I-205. And at last check, we're up to 21 minutes from Troutdale to the I-5 split. Matthew?
Thank you very much, Chris. Well, coming up, a U.S. military helicopter goes down near the Strait of Hormuz overnight. What we know about the status of the 2 pilots on board after the break.
KGW Sunrise keeps you prepared for whatever the day brings, working overnight to get you the latest breaking news.
We are following breaking news right now in Northwest Portland.
Sunrise reporter Corey Johnson, who's live at the scene.
Stay ahead of the storm with weather impact alert days.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
This is our first trouble spot of the morning.
Start with a team you trust on KGW Sunrise, weekdays starting at 5 a.m. Stream the KGW app now on your phone or TV for free.
I'm Trina Green, a morning anchor at KGW and new dog mom to this sweet guy. Meet Barry. I love getting your mornings off to a great start, whether it's sharing stories of resilience and triumph in our community, or following breaking news from Beaverton to Gresham and everywhere in between. We've got you covered, because when news moves fast, you need a team that moves with you. Make the move to KGW Sunrise, weekday mornings from 5 to 9, anywhere you watch.
International headlines this morning. 2 U.S. military pilots have been rescued after a helicopter they were flying went down near the Strait of Hormuz. That's according to President Donald Trump, who said that there were pilots, quote, fine, when asked about the incident while leaving the Knicks-Spurs game last night. The crash was first reported by the New York Times, and it's not clear why the helicopter went down, but President Trump said a report would be released later today. The president also telling reporters he thinks a potential peace deal with Iran could come within the next few days.
They were going back and forth, and now they both agreed through me to stop. And we're in the final throes of what will be a very, very good deal that will not allow in any way, shape, or form nuclear weapons, etc. And the strait will open up right away. It'll open up immediately upon signing, which could be in 2 or 3 days.
However, statements from Iranian officials have contradicted the president's claims that a peace deal is close. Meantime, voters in 4 more states head to the polls today to pick their candidates for November's midterm elections.
That's all while workers in California keep counting ballots from the state's primary a week ago. Alice Barr has the latest.
Voters heading to the polls today from Nevada to North Dakota, South Carolina, and Maine, where a high-stakes Senate race could help tip the balance of power in Washington.
We get to show this country the way forward.
Oyster farmer and former Marine Graham Plattner is the clear Democratic frontrunner aiming to unseat 5-term Republican Senator Susan Collins while weathering a series of scandals, including recent allegations of toxic and unsettling behavior 3 former girlfriends described to the New York Times. Allegations Plattner denies while acknowledging what he calls a dark period after his military service.
When politically motivated, serious and false accusations are made against me. Maine, you have my back.
President Trump, meanwhile, addressed a tele-rally for South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham's re-election bid and again raised questions about election integrity.
We don't want any surprises. We don't want any bad things to happen. In elections, you never know, so we have to be very careful.
After abruptly ending a 50-minute interview with NBC's Kristen Welker when she challenged his claims of election fraud in California, there's no evidence of fraud in the state's ballot counting. The president later posted it's, quote, not possible for Spencer Pratt, the candidate he endorsed, to have lost the runoff for Los Angeles mayor, alleging, quote, rigged elections. California officials acknowledge the state's universal vote-by-mail system causes delays, but say it is working.
Our job is to make sure that we process those ballots correctly, securely, accurately, and that does take time.
NBC News now projecting progressive city councilwoman Nithya Raman will face incumbent Democratic Mayor Karen Bass in the fall. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Well, teachers are taking action against Portland Public Schools layoffs. The grievance they're filing that says that these new layoffs violate union bargaining rules. Rod?
Sunday and Monday could be between 95 and 100 degrees. We have a KGW weather impact alert to grab your attention to the hot weather on the way.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, watch extended coverage on the KGW app. The KGW app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news, live from the scene. All the local news you need. Stream the KGW app now on your phone or TV for free. When news breaks.
Police are asking some people to stay inside their homes.
There are still emergency crews that are on scene here.
The team you trust.
Police tell us this is an ongoing investigation.
Is on the KGW app.
And this was just one of many parks that was shut down because of this atmospheric river.
That is some new information that we just got from Portland police.
There is no danger to the public. We'll keep you updated as we learn more.
Follow breaking news as it happens on the KGW app.
We're coming up on 7:29 on your Tuesday morning drive. We'll start off with some good news in Portland's West Hills. Northwest Cornell Road has reopened after a nearly 3-month closure due to sinkhole repair just east of Skyline Boulevard. So you're good to go. That road was closed for some time, but now you're good between Thompson and Skyline. The I-5 drive tightening up a little bit on the Vancouver side of the river. In fact, a lot now. We're up to 34 minutes from Main Street to the Fremont Bridge. Elsewhere in the freeway system, the rest of the drive seems to be in normal shape for this hour of a Tuesday morning commute. 21 minutes right now will get you in from Hillsborough.
Thank you, Chris. I will say on the radar, if you look at this, you can tell it's quite wet from near to north of downtown up through Clark County, but pretty dry south of Portland all the way down into Salem currently. Now, we keep a scattered shower threat in the forecast today. Not much in the way of sun early. That's pretty much solid clouds over the mid-valley from Willamette Valley Vineyards. 56 degrees is the number. We do expect some sunbreak activity, but we'll stay cool, only 65. Look at the weekend. Saturday, 93. Sunday, 96.
Well, in just about an hour, NASA will introduce us to the astronauts tasked with manning the agency's next lunar mission. NASA says the Artemis 3 mission will test critical rendezvous and docking capabilities between the spacecraft and commercial human landing systems. They say these tests will help reach the ultimate goal of putting humans back on the moon's surface. The agency hopes to launch Artemis 3 in late 2027. NASA will introduce us to the Artemis 3 crew during a live event starting at 8:30. Wow. I guess since all four of us are here, that means none of us are part of the crew.
No.
That's my biggest fantasy, you know.
Is it?
Say with me, John. To be in my 20s,
Yeah.
sitting at a bar.
Oh, I know.
Somebody says, "What do you do for a living?" I'm like, "I'm an astronaut." I mean, that's just a
Why are
mic
you in a
drop.
bar?
I don't know.
Yeah,
because
shouldn't you
it's-
be like doing like, physics
Math?
equations and
Yes,
stuff?
you're right. Astronauts don't hang out in bars. My plan is foiled.
Rod Hill's pickup lines.
And just like that, you're
I just always thought that'd be the coolest thing to say ever, though. I'm an astronaut. All right, we have rain from about Portland up to the north. We've got not much in the valleys. This plays as you drop south into Salem, but you see the showers over the Coast Range and up into the Cascades. So far, it's just been rain up at Timberline Lodge, by the way. Chinook Winds Casino Resort Camera, Lincoln City. Mostly it's just overcast out there with showers around 55. A little brightness, but generally cloudy over our state capital this morning. 54 is the early morning number, and here's our day moving forward. Another cool one, 61 degrees at noon, 65 at 5 o'clock. Scattered shower threat continues. We will still be cool tomorrow, and then we start to warm up, it looks like, Thursday into that heat wave that we're calling for this coming weekend. Here's Chris.
Lieutenant Hill.
Yes.
Thank you. All right, let's go ahead. So we found the reason why there's not that much traffic here in North Portland on I-5. It's not good. I-5 southbound, looks like we've got a fender bender right now on the interstate bridge. I don't have eyes on it, but our traffic sensors indicating significant slowing now from here all the way back past SR 500. So that's why the drive time has ballooned upwards to 31 minutes to get you in from Hazeldale down to the Fremont Bridge. Over the west side, the Sunset definitely getting busier at the Sylvan Hills. You climb up from 217 to Sylvan. Right now, that's a 21-minute ride in from Brookwood Parkway. And over on the other side of town, 26 minutes now, your westbound commute from Troutdale to the I-5 split. China?
Thank you, Chris. Well, just into our newsroom, the Marion County Sheriff's Office is asking for your help finding this missing woman with dementia. So take a good look at your screen right here. This is 64-year-old Sammy Redlin. She was last seen along Jefferson Marion Road near Jefferson and is believed to be driving a red 2017 Dodge Ram Crew Cab pickup with the Idaho license plate 5876U. If you see her or the truck, call 911. You're also asked to stay with her and provide updates to dispatch until an officer arrives.
And then an update this morning, the Sandy man accused of murdering a mother, grandmother, and teenager, as well as wounding a police officer, now facing nearly 20 charges with additional counts added for his alleged shootout with police.
38-year-old Brian Moore was already charged with the murder for his death of his partner, Jenna Overson, her mother, Mary Beth, and 16-year-old Coben McClune, who lived nearby. The grand jury also indicted him on several counts of attempted murder for allegedly shooting at police when they showed up to investigate. One of them, Garrett Thornton, was wounded. We spoke with one of Jenna Overson's friends outside of court.
She was amazing. No matter what she was going through, she always had a smile on her face, there to help. Anytime you need something, she was there.
During a standoff with police, authorities say Moore took his 3-year-old son and Jenna's 20-year-old son as hostages, but they were not hurt. Moore pleaded not guilty and remains in the Clackamas County Jail.
And a reminder, if you or someone you know is in need of help, there are resources available. One of them is the National Domestic Violence Hotline. It's available 24/7 at the number on your screen, 800-799-7233.
Well, a Portland man was arrested after shooting at people during a Facebook Marketplace meetup at Juergens Park. Tualatin police say last Tuesday, 20-year-old Daniel Rodriguez Jr. gave the victims counterfeit bills while buying clothes. When they confronted him about it, Rodriguez ran away with the clothes and started firing in the victim's direction. Police found him on Friday, June 5th, and arrested him on multiple charges, including attempted murder.
New this morning, the Portland Teachers Union has filed a class action grievance after Portland Public Schools announced a new round of layoffs.
The union says many of these layoffs violate collective bargaining rules. Libby Dowsett is live in Southwest Portland with more on the union's complaints. So what are members saying, Libby?
Well, the union says most of these layoff notices that they know about anyway violate layoff procedures. According to the union, the total number of layoff notices is 82 and rising, and about 77 of those violate rules under collective bargaining procedures laid out in the teachers' union contract. The Portland Association of Teachers filed that emergency class action grievance against the district, saying PPS administrators have repeatedly failed to inform the union of the number of layoff notices issued and have not confirmed that the total number is not significantly higher. Angela Bonilla, the president of the Portland Association of Teachers, says in a statement, in part, quote, "The purpose of the layoff provision in our collective bargaining agreement is to ensure that any layoffs issued be issued in a manner that is fair and above board, not based on favoritism or management whims." And with this grievance filed on Monday, PPS has 10 days to respond. We also reached out to the school district and have not heard back. Their offices are also closed through Wednesday. Now back to you.
Libby Dowsett reporting live this morning. Libby, thank you. Meanwhile, the Portland Public School Board is expected to take up a resolution today to start the renaming process at 4 schools. They include North Portland's Jefferson High, where several years ago protesters tore down a statue of Thomas Jefferson on campus. Also on the list is Cleveland High in Southeast, Robert Gray Middle School in Southwest, and Cesar Chavez Elementary in North Portland. The district is considering the changes because of concerns about the historical legacies of the people the schools are named after, like the 3rd president and former slave owner Thomas Jefferson. But some former students have questions.
People who went to Jeff, it's Jeff. It's not even, it has nothing to do with Thomas Jefferson.
I think they should, rename it to benefit, the neighborhood, however that may be or whatever they choose.
The resolution doesn't contain any proposed names and only initiates the renaming process.
Well, some local college students are working to help women and minority-owned businesses thrive thanks to a new partnership. The program matches local businesses with marketing students at Portland State University. Students did market research and developed specific strategies to help each business succeed. And yesterday, students presented their plans to the business owners directly.
Reading a book or taking weekly quizzes, I feel like you don't learn as much. It just kind of feels like, oh, I have to do this, but actually applying everything into a real business, especially a small business, it feels amazing to actually be able to walk out as a graduate and be able to apply everything that you have learned.
That student you just heard from says working with these businesses opened her eyes to just how much work goes into keeping a local business running.
Well, it is 7:38. Rod Hill's got another check of our forecast in the rain this morning.
Yeah.
Here.
It's mainly wet from near Portland up to the north and then up in the Cascades and the Coast Range rather. We've had really very limited rainfall this morning down towards Salem, and the scattered shower chance mainly is on a line near Salem northward with a dry day for the most part across the southern half of our state. Here's a closer look what I was just talking about. There's some rain up along the Columbia River, but you get into Portland and drop southward, pretty dry. Not a bad day. We will be cool again today. We do expect to open up some sun breaks, but the scattered shower threat will be continuing. This is kind of cool. If you look carefully, that's a rainbow right there. That's from the camera at Sun River Resort. Over in Central Oregon, expecting to see a mainly dry day with partly cloudy skies over in Sun River, but always fun to see a rainbow in the cameras. See the flags are moving a little bit. That's from the Pioneer Park Building camera looking at Pioneer Courthouse Square. Bricks are wet and it is breezy outside. We'll at least continue to see southwesterlies today, 10 to 20 miles per hour at times. They've been stronger than that this morning. 56 is the number at PDX. It's 54 in Salem, 54 in Bend, 56 out in John Day. Fairly uniform temperatures. Onyx is our pet of the day. Beautiful black cat with the green eyes there. Pet of the day at kgw.com is the email address. Send us your pet's photo and we will feature them on our show. Here's our weather map for today. Inland areas generally still in the 60s. The chance of showers mainly Blue Mountains and then out here on the west side of our state. 7 to 8 mainly dry tomorrow, and then the warm-up begins. Saturday, 93, Sunday, 96, Monday, 97, with the KGW weather impact alert for the hot weather coming. Here's Chris.
Let's get back to that Clark County commute. Something was hanging up the drive on the Interstate Bridge a few minutes ago. Whatever it was, looks like it is cleared. However, we always have a residual delay, and that's what we've got right now. It extends up past SR 500. So with that in mind, the trip in from Hazeldale has spiked up to about 24 minutes or so from Main Street to the Fremont Bridge. Another traffic alert. This is looking down on the St. John's Bridge. And a reminder, actually, since last Friday, the northbound section of Bridge Avenue on the west side of the St. John's Bridge is closed here for ongoing road repairs and stabilizing of the hillside. So there's a lot of traffic now using that south side leg, and photojournalist Eric Patterson is over on that side. He says tempers have been a little tested here coming down the hill from the St. John's Bridge and onto Highway 30. So just use your patience. That is going to be an active work zone for at least the next 6 to 8 days. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Chris.
Potholes never die, and neither do I.
Put that in the loop. He spent the last 4 decades hoping to annoy his city leaders into repairing potholes. Meet the so-called pothole bandit as he returns for one last protest before hanging his hat up for good.
I'm David Mulco, the evening anchor at KGW. Though when I'm not working, I like to spend as much time as possible out here in nature. So I don't just report about our community, I belong to it. You see, what happens here affects us all, and that's why we care so deeply about getting it right. And when local journalism is done right, it doesn't sit still, it moves. It moves you to act, to vote, to volunteer, to talk about it, to speak up, or to lend a hand. It moves your mind by challenging assumptions and offering new perspectives. It moves you forward by giving you the information to make decisions and thrive where you live. And yes, it moves your heart through the kind of human storytelling that stays with you wherever you are. And at KGW, we're here for all of it. These are the stories that move Portland.
Well, railroad history comes to life at Sumter Valley Railroad on the Oregon-Idaho border. And a group of volunteers is rallying together to restore one part of history just in time for their 50th anniversary. The historic railroad thunders through pine-covered mountains outside Baker City, and more than 50 years ago, a group of volunteers came together with hopes of preserving it. Well, the railroad dates back to the 19th century when it was used for logging and mining. After World War II, it was scrapped and the engines were scattered around the world. Then, in the 1970s, volunteers rebuilt the abandoned railroad and brought home historic engines. Now, a new group is carrying on that legacy.
There's a lot of hard work that was done by the men and women before us, and we want to preserve that history.
It's a whole group of people who are dedicated to the restoration and preservation of our railroad. It's fun.
The latest project is restoring locomotive 19, which was brought back during the Sumter Valley Railroad's initial restoration project. Volunteers hope to have it done by the 50th anniversary celebration, which is running June 13th and 14th, as well as the 20th and 21st.
And from the railways to the roadways, you'd be hard-pressed to find someone who enjoys having potholes in their neighborhood. But for the last 40 years, one Vermont man has been using a unique method to get his city to patch up its streets. Ike Ben David has the story.
at the corner of North Street and Mansfield Ave in Burlington. It can be a bumpy ride.
And I came home yesterday and hit the one on the corner here and almost got thrown out of my car.
But help is on the way. He calls himself the Pothole Bandit, a local man in costume calling attention to Burlington's pitted pavement.
It's trying to get the tree to stick.
In a form of protest against roads that need some patching, he plans to fill this pothole with a tree.
What's your plan here?
Stick the tree in the pothole and make a statement.
And what's that statement?
That potholes never die, and neither do I.
You see, this isn't the first time the bandit has planted trees in the streets. This is him wearing a similar disguise in 1986, doing similar duties, filling potholes in the Queen City with trees. He says when an ambulance was taken down by a pothole, it inspired him to step up. The Pothole Project made headlines at the time.
It says the Pothole Bandit, and he is here. He's also carrying a tree.
Our cameras were rolling when then Police Chief Kevin Scully met with the bandit at Perkins Pier to try to cut down any tension. WQCR Louis Mano and Jim Condon had the play-by-play.
All right, they've met halfway and they're now shaking hands.
The pothole tree planting bit ended soon after, but 40 years later, it's hard to forget.
He would, plant trees.
Oh yeah, in the potholes and flowers and stuff like that, yeah.
And 4 decades, he's chasing that fame again.
It stuck. It worked.
You feel like you're back again?
Yeah. I didn't think it would work that well.
This time around, though, the problem may still be real, but the tree isn't. And he removed the tree, too.
Well, we could fill it a little bit, leave the dirt in there.
40 years ago, he did hide his identity till he got caught. But today, he has nothing to hide anymore. The Pothole Bandit, also known as Bruce Plouffe, says on the 40th anniversary, the gig is up.
But you're done after this. This was the last one.
I'm done. I'm done.
Now at 68, he says the pothole problem isn't what it used to be.
Do you think the roads are better now, 40 years later?
I think they're better. I think they're trying.
I don't say this lightly. That is a legend. The man is a legend. Wow.
It's and one way to deal with a problem, I suppose.
Yes.
Putting a tree in a pothole is not solving the problem.
No,
In fact,
it's not.
You could argue it's more dangerous than the pothole itself.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
I give his mission a thumbs down.
If somebody's not paying, attention and he's got a tree or something in a pothole, yeah.
It will mess up your car.
Heart probably in the right place, but I don't want an artificial tree in the middle of my street either. Here's a look at our rainfall map. We've got 37 107 inch in Portland. This is rain that fell yesterday, over an inch in Tillamook and Astoria. So again, it was a good soak. It was the headline was it was going to be the biggest soak in about 50 days since April 22nd, and that came true, by the way. An inch up in Seattle came, Olympia 1.37. The automated rain gauge not reporting in Kelso, that's why you see a 0. 33 107 inch in Vancouver. Well, from yesterday's needed soak to today's showers, and then we springboard into our first heat wave of the season, still on track to come this weekend, starting on Saturday. The heat wave Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. The hottest day Sunday, Monday, where it could be 95 to 100 degrees. So heat exhaustion becomes an issue. Stay hydrated, take breaks. And we're just tracking this and throwing it out there. You may want to alter your plans for this coming weekend. We're in the cool, showery pattern again today. Not a lot of total rain expected on this Tuesday. And so far, we're seeing mostly the rain is near Portland up to the north. Very little when you drop southward towards Salem. And Futurecast shows a scattered shower threat with this, but then pretty much dissipating tonight. And here's tomorrow, a day that should see increasing sunshine take hold. We're getting a breakout over the reserve golf course right now from the Explore Tualatin Valley location out in Aloha. But raindrops on the lens over the Columbia from the Vancouver, the Springs at the waterfront location. We're 53 Seattle, 52 Eugene, 52 Newport, 56 Portland, 54 Bend. Another day where there's not much temperature variance across our state. Forecast numbers for today. Sun breaks expected to open up. We'll keep the scattered shower threat alive. We'll only be in the 60s. Again, a relatively cool day. More rain in southwest Washington overall than what we'll see down in the mid-valley. This shows Longview 61. Here's our 7-day. Tomorrow mainly dry, 68, and then we start to warm up. Upper 70s Thursday, 84 Friday. Day one of 90-degree weather Saturday. The hottest again, 96 Sunday. 97 degrees on Monday. Here is Mr. McGinnis.
That is hot stuff. All right, let's get you to some good news. Did my voice just crack? Some good news down in Marion County. I-5, the new Battle Creek Road Bridge just reopened after a lengthy closure. Obviously, they just built the bridge. Now they've connected it. And now the new roundabout over on the east side is also open. So you're good to go there. This is the old Battle Creek Road Bridge, and ODOT says they will be closing I-5 at some point later this month, a full closure to do some bridge demo. We don't know what that date is, but when we have it, we'll bring it to you. All right, back to your freeway drive. The slowest part of our commute right now is right here, I-5 in Clark County. We're bunched up here, I think because we had some earlier issues on the interstate bridge. We never did spot them, but they've cleared. We're still a little thick, though. 22 minutes gets you southbound from Main Street to the Fremont Bridge. Guys, back to you.
Chris, thank you. Well, World Cup teams and fans alike have landed in North America ahead of kickoff, where in the Pacific Northwest teams are training, and how Team USA is feeling ahead of their first match.
Matt, how long is this break in the rain going to last?
About another day, Christine. Again, another atmospheric river hitting the Northwest. This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
It's certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, watch extended coverage on the KGW app.
Want more sunrise? We got you covered.
You can stream an extra 2 hours of live morning news on KGW streaming apps. That means more local stories and extended coverage of breaking news. What's it looking like out there? We making any progress?
Plus live weather and traffic updates as they happen.
And this is our first trouble spot of the morning.
We have a gorgeous day coming up.
We are live on KGW Sunrise, weekday mornings from 5 to 9. Stream on your time with KGW. Well, World Cup teams are touching down all over North America, with a dozen practicing here on the West Coast, including Team USA. Rena Nakano met up with the lucky fans who got to check out the first day of training.
5,000 people lined up, held signs, and chanted their die-hard fandom for Team USA. But this isn't for a game, it's just for practice.
We're grateful to be here. We're lucky to be here.
The U.S. men's soccer team hosted their first and only public practice at Irvine's Great Park Stadium Monday. More than 33,000 people applied to watch their 30-minute practice session. Only 5,000 were chosen.
Do you guys sign my poster?
Local soccer player, 10-year-old Sanjay Patel, says his dad went the extra mile to make sure he and his brother Nikhil witnessed history.
He posted in our family group chat. He told everybody to sign up for it. And since not a lot of our family lives in California, they'd give us the tickets if they wanted.
Luckily, an uncle and aunt from out of state won the lottery and gave them the tickets. The team began with a simple warm-up, then moved on to something Sanjay says he does with his own club.
It's called rondos. It's where there's defenders in the middle of the square and you're trying to pass around them.
City of Irvine staff spent weeks preparing this FIFA-approved pitch, a special blend of Bermuda grass mowed daily by hand in a crisscross formation. The players seem to enjoy the field, which will serve as their home for the next 3 weeks. And after their practice, their fan service didn't disappoint, each player taking extra time to run up to the stands to greet their fans. taking photos, signing autographs.
Is this going to be a prized possession?
Oh yeah, going up on the frame, that's for sure.
And sharing special moments with longtime fans like 82-year-old Margie Hook.
I'm a Galaxy fan, and then I'm a fan of him, and I'm a big USA fan.
The players say it's a humbling experience to stay until the very end because the people they were signing these autographs for used to be them.
It's amazing. I remember being in their position too, so it's always nice to see them.
So to be here and walk around and give back to them, it's great.
By the end, Sanjay went home with a poster filled with autographs by his idols.
I've got Matt Turner. I've got Pepe, I think, right here.
Something he says he'll cherish forever.
Other teams landing include Egypt. The World Cup team arrived in their home base of Spokane, Washington, and held their first practice Monday. Practices are on one of Gonzaga's fields. They will play their first game Monday, June 15th in Seattle against Belgium.
As for the other teams staying in the Pacific Northwest, Portland is hosting Jordan. The team will be practicing here until they head to their first match against Austria in San Francisco on June 16th.
Well, coming up, KGW Sunrise continues live on KGW Plus with the squirrel population in Santa Monica exploding.
They're very dominant squirrels. This is their park. They've taken over.
Wildlife experts are pleading with people to stop eating the squirrels after they got a taste for junk food. That's next at 8.
Hi, I'm Christine Padawanich. I'm a journalist at KGW, and I love exploring Portland's amazing food scene. New spot? I'm there. So I don't just report about our community, I belong to it. What happens here affects us all, and that's why we care so deeply about getting it right. And when local journalism is done right, it doesn't sit still, it moves. It moves you to act, to vote, to volunteer, to speak up, or to lend a hand. It moves your mind by challenging assumptions and offering new perspectives. It moves you forward by giving you the information to make decisions and thrive where you live.